This is Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado news on seconews.org. We're here in Lamar, Colorado, where the Bowens have invited us into their home to do this interview and talk about their new book. Of course, talking about the Lost Sand Creek site. Chuck Bowen and Mike Bowen co-authoring it. Good morning, Mike. How we doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having us, Adrian.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having us. You guys can't see it off camera, but I've got my coffee's already leaving a ring on their nice desk here. But beautiful layout. Tell us about your upcoming event.
So we're going to be presenting this Saturday, April 29th at 2 p.m. at Otero Museum in La Junta. And so for those that aren't familiar with where that is at, that's at 3rd and Anderson in La Junta. We'd love to have you come and join us. The presentation itself is free. We'll also be doing a book signing, so we will have books available to purchase. And so we invite you to come visit with us, buy a book, get it signed for no extra charge, learn about some of the artifacts that my dad and my mom found that show where the Sand Creek site actually happened. We'll be presenting on the topic, how did the Sand Creek site become lost? Because the title of our book is how we found it. So I think in understanding how it was found, obviously, at some point the site had to become lost.
Right.
So we'll be discussing how that site did indeed become lost and the steps that it took to research and to find out that it indeed was not at the right spot and what they did to find all these artifacts.
Now, your guys' family ranch is adjacent to the National Historic Site.
Yeah, so the family ranch starts. It's just right there next to the National Park Service site. And honestly, everything that was found is starting about 2.5 miles up the creek from that monument, moving up the creek several miles.
Oh, wow.
This was not in a condensed area. This was scattered, actually. And village artifacts and then battle artifacts, and mostly in other places. Not very many battle artifacts in the village, believe it or not.
Wow.
But this is all discussed and explained a lot more in the book as far as, like what was found and in what spots. Book is full of maps, over 100 pictures of artifacts.
Wow.
And those photos, it's not just necessarily one photo as one artifact. Some of those photos are like a case, like what you see on the desk here. So you have multiple artifacts in one photo. So they found over 4,000 artifacts.
Wow.
And we're going to be talking a lot about more on that Saturday at the presentation.
You guys going to have some artifacts on display at
Yes,
the museum?
we will. There will be a sampling of artifacts there. And in fact, there's these two pieces here. And I'm not going to go into detail.
We're gonna save some of the surprise for the show, right?
So we're going to explain what the significance of what these pieces are, how they were found. Come to the program Saturday to learn about these two pieces, because these two pieces right here are so significant. They can only be from the Sand Creek event. They can't be from anything else.
Oh, wow.
So come Saturday, learn about these pieces. We'll explain how they were found, and there's a really cool story behind that. So we would love to have you.
All right. Join Chuck and Mike Bowen as they get an autographed copy of the book too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Make sure you get your book signed. That doesn't cost anything extra to get the book signed. And we do have books available. So if you haven't bought one online, come get one in person. We'll have them available.
And of course, if you can't make it to the event, we've got the link on seconews.org where you guys can click that link and go right to the purchase point.
Absolutely. Yep. Check out those links. Check out our website and our Facebook page, please. Give us a follow on Facebook and learn about, because we do post things on Facebook and our website. We have a blog where we post behind the scenes things that didn't make the book.
Yep. And you can sign up for that subscriber list, if you will, on the email.
Absolutely.
And get the updates on when you guys post those blog updates, just like I do.
Absolutely. So yes, we'll have our email. You can give us an email. We can add you to our list. So you can get blog updates and stay informed on what we're posting behind the scenes with the book.
Yep. It's very cool to see the history investigation happening local. Can you give us a little bit of your background, Mike?
Well, my background is as a writer. And so that's where I came in, is to help my dad tell his story. I have experience working actually at the newspaper here in town, several years writing and as an editor. So I was able to put that experience to work and help him author this book and tell their story. My dad, he grew up on that part of Sand Creek. That's his unique advantage. We don't have a dog in this fight, so to speak. The only
Right.
connection to Sand Creek is that he grew up there. And so he'd always had an interest in it. And in fact, he gave his first tour of Sand Creek, what was at the traditional site in 1970 when he was in high school.
Wow.
But little did he know at the time, he wasn't at the spot where he would find all the action. But fast forward, he's a rancher. He's leasing land from his parents. And in the early 1990s, he was contacted by an archaeologist that believed that the monument at the traditional site was marking the wrong spot.
Wow.
And actually believed it was a different spot and possibly on the Bowen Ranch. And so that's the connection. He was contacted by an archaeologist that said, hey, I think it might have actually happened on your place. They did some searching at the spot they looked at. They didn't really find what they were looking for. But we explain that all more in the book. And over time, my mom and dad, they decided to formulate a plan. They researched historical documents. They read eyewitness accounts. And they decided that let's go find it.
All right.
And that happened in 1995. And yeah.
You guys been pulling artifacts out of the ground since, huh?
Yeah. And so, yes, sir. So a lot of artifacts they found. And the sobering thing for me is I've gone out a lot over the years, and I've probably helped find maybe less than 5% of his collection.
Right.
He stopped counting in the early 2000s, and it was over 4,000 pieces.
Wow.
At that point. So again, we hope you come, check out our program, pick up our book, and read about this discovery, because as a journalist, I think it would not be wise of me to sit on this information.
Right.
That's what journalism is about, is this story needs to be told so people can make up their own mind.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. Thank you for reminding our community that today is history. And here's your opportunity to learn about our local regional history directly from the source, if you will. And check out these artifacts available on display at the Otero Museum coming up Saturday with the book signing. And could you maybe hold up another piece or two? What surprised me was the arrowheads are actually made out of metal.
These are metal arrowheads.
Right.
And what a lot of people may not know is that by the 1860s, the time of Sand Creek, they actually were using metal point arrowheads. And the Indians sometimes they'd trade for them, or they would make them out of like the water barrel hoops.
Right.
And they would make metal arrowheads, and he's found hundreds. I mean, lots and lots of metal arrowheads. So at that point, they were no longer using the stone, but they were using metal.
Wow. The technology had progressed.
Yeah. Yeah, they had kind of innovated that a bit by the 1860s. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And,
So lots of different kernels of knowledge concerning our regional history here.
Yes, absolutely. They've discovered thousands of pieces, arrowheads, bullets, shell fragments, kettle fragments, a lot of village artifacts, knives. I mean, just spurs, buckles.
Yeah.
They've found military buttons.
Yep. Well, you can find out about the history right here on the We Found the Lost Sand Creek site book by Chuck and Mike Bowen. Anything you want to add, Mike?
Nope, just another reminder, 2 p.m. Saturday, Otero Museum. We hope to see you there.
Awesome. Go get your copy signed. All right. For Mike and Chuck Bowen and the people of Southeast Colorado, I'm Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado News.